My biggest obstacle when it comes to my health and fitness is sticking to a plan. I lose weight, I regain it. I also start to exercise and then I lose interest, especially when it's hot and humid like it is here in Australia right now. But I do like to walk, and I find that is the only exercise that I do. So I'm going to digress a little and talk about walking. Most of us will continue walking. It's low barrier. So we know how to do it. So therefore, it's something that we can do. We can also do it with other people, so there can be more pleasure associated with it as well too. So we've got that social connection happening. So walking is one of those things that I put in the physical activity basket. For me personally, it's about that physical movement as well as my mental health. So that's why I like to walk. But back to this sticking to a plan, because that's the topic we want to talk about today, right, Sal?
Yes.
Have you ever gone off plan? All the time.
A bazillion times. Yes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, me too. Me too. So when I started to think about this particular obstacle, I wanted to throw it in the life happens basket. And so we'll talk about that a bit more. My thoughts also went to thinking about developing consistency and thinking about why your health and fitness is important to you. So being unclear about it. And the reason that I went down that track was because the person who sent this in, she actually starts, but then something else gets in the road and takes over. So that's why I went, okay, there are a couple of things that we need to think about here. It's like, how do I get more consistent with it? And I'm going to get more consistent when I'm truly connected and understand why it's important to me. But I also need to be real about the fact that life is going to happen. And so what do I have in place for when life happens? So the first thing that I want to explore is knowing your why. So why is it important to you to, for example, in this case, lose weight and exercise more? So, think about, the values and how exercise aligns with your personal values. And ask yourself, why do I want to engage in physical activity, or why do I want to lose weight? And you always talk about sell that, but then go, but why? But why? But why? So keep actually peeling it back to uncover what that real reason is for it.
And
Think
can I
about,
just jump in
yeah,
there, Peter,
jump in.
with this? Yes, ladies. When you're doing this exercise, get a notebook out, write it
I'll
down.
write it down. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't just sit in front of the TV and think about it, because you won't remember it. Writing down those but whys are going to get the answers out.
Yeah,
Sorry,
absolutely.
Peter.
Yeah. No, go for it. Jump in anytime you like. Also, I think about, if you've exercised in the past, which is clearly what this client said to us, they have, it's about thinking, what are those positive feelings and experiences that I've had that are associated with exercise? It, for example, it changes my mood and how I feel. I feel accomplished after I've done it, or, I might have increased energy. So, what are all those positive things that come from exercise? Because you are doing it, but then you're giving it up. So what is happening there. So,
And then you're going back to it. So there's something there
yeah,
that you're loving about it.
yeah, totally, totally. Also think about what are the long-term benefits, like you're reducing your risk of up to 40 different chronic diseases. It's going to expand your lifespan and improve the quality of your life. So, but we need to get really gritty and tangible about what that means. Yeah, it's about longevity for me. Yeah, but what does that actually mean? How do you want to live? What are the things that are important to you? And that's why knowing this why and being realistic about it is such an important aspect. And it's where I'd start.
And it's so important not just to go to those default answers.
No.
I want to do it to lose weight. I want to do it to get fitter. I want to do it to, live longer.
Yes.
They're all default answers. And this is what we're talking about when we're saying, you said, get into the nitty gritty, get into your but whys.
Yeah. And, I was thinking about it, like, also, like, what are the potential challenges you're going to have? So if you can identify why life happened, what was the thing that took you off track, then you can at least go, okay, here's the thing that stopped me. What can I have in place next time that something like that happens again? So I think those challenges that we have and getting into the nitty-gritty of those is a really, really important aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because most of the time, the only real reason to stop is physical. Is if you have physically injured yourself or hurt yourself. Because you said, life gets in the way. Yes, life gets in the way. My daughter rang to look after my grandchildren this afternoon. You've been given warning about that. That's prepared you for that. I've got to go into work tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Okay, you've been given warning about that. You can prepare for that.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know that I've told this story before, Sal, when Paul, we almost lost him, last year. And it's been a big road to recovery. He was in hospital for a long time. And that's where this Life Happens plan is so important, because I know that if I'm not physically and emotionally taking care of myself, then I'm not going to be able to support him.
No.
So, and I like the fact that you mentioned, all of those really default answers, those easy to get at answers. So start with those. It's one of the things that we do quite often, which is that 50 reasons why. So I'm just going to write 10 reasons why today. And so if you were to do anything, sit down and go, what are my 10 reasons? Okay, I want to be fitter. I want to be stronger. I want to be more flexible. I want to live longer, So you get those 10 reasons and you'll go, oh, okay, I'm feeling a little accomplished today. I've written that down. But tomorrow, what you're going to do is write another 10 reasons. And then the following day, another 10 reasons until you get to day 5. So you're going to have 50 reasons. And then what you can do is look through that list and go, where are the buckets? Where can I put these different things? What are the categories that I've created here? Okay, and what is more important to me? And so with that, you'll uncover it. And so we do tend to see this a lot, that women exercise and want to, lose that little bit of weight and stay healthy, because they want to either play with their grandkids, support their grandkids, or they want to be able to continue to travel and explore and be adventurous, or they've got some sporting activity that they do that, is is part of their social life and their social connection. And it could be golfing or bowling or tennis or any of those things. So, you know, they want to be able to do that, but they know that, you know, that physical activity, that structure is what's required in order to be able to do these things. You know, the other one is just simply living independently.
Yeah, I was thinking of Betty then.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. So I think, you know, as each decade goes on, you do start to think about that more. Am I going to be able to do the things for myself? You know,
Yeah.
and that's going to start with these glorious things in front of us, our hands. You know, what's my grip strength like? Because one of the things is, you know, we need grip strength of 12 kilos in order to be able to, you know, legally drive a car. What's your grip strength like?
Yeah.
That's here in Queensland anyway. I don't know what it's like anywhere else. So, and the only reason I know that is Paul wasn't allowed to drive the car until he actually got to 12 kilos.
You know, and that's probably something a lot of people don't know.
No, well, I never knew it until the OT told me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thinking about short term, thinking about long term, breaking it down, and just really getting real with yourself.
Yeah.
My second point was being flexible in your schedule. Don't go hard on it. So, you know, you might be someone who goes, oh, I'm going to work out at 6 a.m. every morning or 5:30 a.m. or whatever the time is. But then if you can't do the 6 a.m. and you've overslept it, do you just not do it? Or do you go to another session? So you want to allow yourself that flexibility because life is flexible. It's ever changing. So you want to cut yourself some slack and not be so regimented in your approach.
Because what will happen is I didn't go to 6 o'clock this morning. I didn't go to 5:30 this afternoon. Oh, okay, well, I'll just sleep in again.
Yeah,
I
I
didn't go to that
failed.
class. You know, a week's gone by and you haven't done anything and you're in your head again.
Yeah, that's right. I failed and now I'm a failure and I'm back in my head as well. Yeah, exactly. I think also we want to plan for variety.
Yes.
Okay, so we want to have a variety of exercises, different types of classes, because all of those things prevent boredom. If we're doing the same thing day in, day out, then at some point we are going to get slack with it. We're either going to get bored or we're going to get slack. So if I think about walking, how many people actually track their walking pace? Probably not too many. Maybe they do, but you know, if you look at your, so maybe you're going, okay, I'm just going to do a 30-minute walk, but are you covering the same amount of time in that 30-minute walk as you did, you know, 10 years ago? Or is it less?
Yeah.
Okay, so that walking pace is super important. Because that again leads to this living independently type stuff as well too.
Yeah. And it's also, you know, walking the same track every day.
Oh yeah.
Not adding any challenges into it, like not any hills or walking in a different direction or driving somewhere else to do your walk.
Yeah.
And it's no different to doing strength training in the studio. You know, it's always got to be changed up to get better at it and get stronger at it.
Yeah, which is exactly why in our FitFlex sessions, here's your base exercises, and this is how we're going to do it this day. But the next day you're going to do them differently, and the next day you're going to do them differently again. And you want to, you know, rotate between those foundations. So you want to make sure that you're including, you know, stability work, core work, balance work, flexibility and mobility, strength, power, endurance, you know, so you want to make sure that you're getting everything covered off.
And then, then you've got your variety and you're not getting bored with what you're doing.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And the next point that I thought about was, what's your emergency life happens workout? What is it? Okay. So I've got a few of them. So it depends on how I'm feeling. So, do I need to do some type of cardio burst, or do I need to do the strength? I generally come back to the strength. I am pretty predictable. So it's like I do like to pick up my weights. But I know that I do need to do the other stuff as well too. But it's like, what does that look like for me? And I think, again, that comes back down to, okay, I need the Life Happens workout, but I also need to have variety in my Life Happens workout as well too, because I'm going to feel differently.
I think also too, like, you have your emergency plan. Have you got your holiday plan? We go on holidays and then we come back. And do I feel like working out? Do I feel like getting back to it? So what does your holiday workout look like?
Yes. Yeah. Is it walking?
Are you taking your weights with you?
Yeah. Or, resistance band.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's lots of things you can do. I think having some type of accountability is always important, though, so, and that comes down to support. So if life happens, who are you going to reach out to and say, look, I need your help with this? And they're going to be there to help you, but they're also going to, at the same time, say to you, come on, you need to take care of yourself. Just 5 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
Or they might
noticing you not be there.
Yeah. And they might be, you and I have done this where we've jumped on a phone call together and we've done a workout together. I've yelled out what the first set is. You've yelled out what the second set is, So, yeah, an accountability system, I think, is really, really important. Do you have anything you want to jump in on?
No, just that then, even if you are at a gym, who in the gym is going to notice that you've not been there? Because, we work in the studio. We know when our ladies are slacking off. We can tell. So that accountability is so very important, not only for you to reach out to somebody, but for somebody to reach out to you and say, hey, what's happening in life?
Yeah, totally. And I think that comes down to that mindset shift as well too. So, thinking about, my exercise or eating healthy or getting to bed at a regular time and, managing my stress, these are all non-negotiable parts of my routine. They're on my calendar. They're just like any other essential item that I have. And so if you think about the morning walk as an example, your morning walk can include a meditation.
Yeah.
So I'm doing some type of physical movement. I'm also having that opportunity to, lower my stress levels because I'm doing that little bit of meditation at the same time. So you can actually, wrap things up in a little bow and put them together.
Even strength workouts in, most parks these days have the exercise machines in the park. So you can even do your strength workouts while you're walking.
Absolutely. Limestone Park is great for that.
Perfect, yes.
Shout out to Ipswich.
Yes.
I think reassessments and adjustments are also important. So that when you're exercising or you're going off track, what's happened there? Is it because of the exercise? Is it because of life? What am I going backwards or am I going forward in this? You know, what's the priority for me right now? So it may be a particular thing. You might feel like you're losing strength, as an example. So, okay, I am losing strength. So you've done that reassessment. So what am I going to do now to adjust that? Okay, I'm going to cut back my repetitions and I'm going to lift heavier weights, just as an example. It also, when you're doing these reassessments and adjusting all the time, Sal, it means that you're not as bored or unmotivated, because you are changing up that routine and you're doing different things. And it gives you that opportunity to keep adding more to it. So thinking about that goal that you're trying to achieve.
Yes. And it's very important to catch it before it gets too out of hand. So if you've noticed that life's gotten in your way, you want to do those reassessments and those adjustments when you notice that you're pulling back. Because we can pull back, and everything that we've done for the past 3 months.
Yeah,
exactly. Everything you've done for the past 3 months, because you've pulled back and haven't done anything about it for 2 months, then you're going to just come back to where you started. So when you are doing those reassessments and adjustments, very important to, I think, catch it then and there.
Yeah. And what's happening there is you can keep pulling back. So I keep pulling back and keep pulling back. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think also preventing the excuses, and I did allude to this earlier. It's like, what are my challenges? What are my obstacles? What are the excuses that I come up with? So, you know, what are my strategies for handling those things when they happen?
Yeah. And we often talk about this because 9 times out of 10, they're excuses.
Yeah.
Because you can always work around them.
Yeah. And if I think about just recently, we've had lots of rain, right? And there was, and I don't mind walking in the rain. I don't really want to walk when it's storming though. And there was one morning there where it was full on, lightning and crazy. And I went, I'm not going to do that. So I did. I had to, firstly, not allow the bad weather excuse to pop into my head. Okay, what am I going to do in order to, still do something? And I pulled out an old DVD and I did Zumba. And I haven't done that for ages. And I had a ball. I had an absolute ball,
But, this is it, it was the storm. There was that weather excuse and you've gone, what am I going to do? If you're sitting at home and go, well, I don't have any exercise DVDs. Great. Have you got a computer?
Yes.
Because you can find a workout on YouTube.
There are
No, I don't have a computer. Great. Do you have a skipping rope? No, I don't have a skipping rope. Great. Have you got an imagination to pretend you have a skipping rope? So there's always a way to get around those excuses.
Yeah, absolutely. And when they happen, when the excuses happen, the obstacles happen and the challenges happen, that's when you go back to that book and you write them down and go, okay, what am I going to do? Okay, this worked, this didn't work. So I'm always evaluating the things that are working and the things that don't work. Because if they didn't work, well, kick them to the curb straight away.
Yep.
Find something new.
Yep. Put them in the beginning of your book, obstacles, solutions. And you can always add those obstacles there and your solutions beside it.
Yeah, totally. And then the other thing is incorporate some type of physical activity into your lifestyle activities. So I'm going to the grocery store. I'm not going to park right here. I'm going to park at the furthest away car park and I'm going to walk in. And I'm going to push my trolley all the way up there. So, or rather than taking the travelator down at the shopping centre, I'm going to walk down the stairs that they've given me.
Yes.
Yeah. So there are lots of different ways. We just have to think about them.
Mm.
I'm always going to come back down to giving yourself a big rah-rah, you know.
Yeah.
Watch your celebration, because that reinforces that positive behavior for you.
Mm.
So, hey, I exercised today. Yes, I did it. So I'm super proud of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're always going to come back to accountability and support. That's one thing that I think is extremely helpful to keeping us on track, particularly, and I did allude to this earlier, when life happens, you know, getting someone to help us, you know, because it's not just physical, it's emotional as well too.
Yeah.
So I think, Sal, my two final points are: listen to your body and what it's telling you. So if you feel like you've got nothing left, then you probably have nothing left. So, you know, try something, you know, just for a minute and go, no, I cannot. Then that's when you're doing something like maybe stretching, or just sitting outside looking at the trees, you know, just lowering your stress levels. So listening to your
And
body.
acknowledging that it's okay when you have nothing left. It's okay to have those days when you literally have nothing left.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. Totally exhausted. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to add before I do my last one? Go for it.
I have a question regarding your plan. Where is your plan written? Now, we've talked about our book where we write our obstacles, our solutions, our whys, everything in there. Where is your weekly plan, your monthly plan? Is it just in your head? Oh, I'll work out tomorrow. I'll work out on Sunday, or is it written down? Yes,
Yeah.
like that. Is it on the fridge? Is it on the side of your
Yeah.
cupboard where you see it? And you often talk about putting in your putting little gold stars on there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, we've just lost visual of you.
I hit the button when I put the calendar back. I just went, oh, where'd I go?
Where's she gone? And then when I'm talking, I'm going, I hope she's hearing me.
Yeah, I am. The final one is this reflection and this learning. And it's been that underpinning theme that we've been talking about all along here, you know, knowing yourself, knowing what you're capable of, knowing these baselines, knowing what distracts you, and then spending that time learning, what do I need to do to overcome those distractions? Because I think, Sal, if we always remember life is dynamic, it is ever changing, and things are going to change. These obstacles, these challenges are always going to pop up. So when we have that life happens plan, it means that we're able to deal with the ups and downs of life that little bit better.
Yeah.
It won't look like it normally looks when you're 100% on it, but it will keep your momentum going, and still keep you focused on your own well-being.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me, Sal.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. Thank you for joining us, ladies. Remember, drop us a comment below and tell us, you know, what is that one thing that you've gone, okay, that resonates with me. I'm actually going to do that one, because, you know, there's no point listening to these things and going, oh, I like that. That was good. That was good, unless we actually put it into action. So we want to take just one step forward today. So hopefully you are going to take that step. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sal. See you all soon.
Bye, Peter.
Bye. Bye.